We're doing life hacks today, boys. So we went to Japan, as you very well may have heard, potentially.
Maybe once or twice.
Once or twice,
or
yep.
15 times.
And we want to basically share some stuff that we found in Japan. Like, usually you get this advice, go to Japan, this is what happens, this is the stock standard. But we found some, not really life hacks, but more things that people don't tell you about Japan when they go to Japan. As a podcast, we are always committed to the truth. Okay. And this is a truthful segment. Here we go. The first one I have is that people don't tell you that the toilet paper in Japan is like half a ply.
Yeah, that was jarring. I'm not going to lie.
Obviously in Japan, right? Bidets are the mechanism of choice when it comes to wiping your bum.
Sen's favorite thing from Japan.
Was it your favorite thing?
Honestly, top 3, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But obviously, like, what they don't tell you is that, like, after you finish bideting, your bums are wet.
Wet, exactly.
And you need to, like, pat it down, dry it up. Except the toilet paper they give you is so thin that it, like, at some points, it was just, like, flaky.
Yeah, you're fingering your bum, essentially.
I didn't want to say it.
I was waiting for you to say it, Ro.
You were giving yourself an enema with your fingers.
You're hopper-whiting yourself.
and yeah, so I was going through. I remember like the first time I used the beat, I was like, "Oh, this is great." The toilet seats are warm.
They're
and
heated. Wow.
which is actually an unbelievable feature. You do the bideting, and it's like, "Oh, this is great." And then you actually like have to wipe your bum because I don't know, it didn't get everything out.
Yeah.
Like it was still like when you wipe, it was still like a little bit brown.
Correct.
I would say, and except because the toilet paper was so thin, I'm just like my hands are just poo stained.
I swear I saw someone that had a drying mechanism, no?
Some did, but no, but
Some bidets?
it really didn't dry. It
Blow
was just
hot air?
essentially, it was just
Yeah.
hot air at your bum. And it's just dispersing the water into different parts of your bum. Like it didn't really dry it. So yeah, it's like Rose Point. You had to still get your fingers in there.
I will say, I didn't even use that feature.
Oh, really?
I was unaware that this drying feature existed.
The first night we got to Tokyo, I spent a good 20, 30 minutes on the toilet. I wanted to use every feature that was available. I was in awe, dude. Like you can choose like the level of like the spray that comes at your bum. There's like,
Yeah, I got all that.
and you can choose like the direction so you can move it up and down, left and right. It was unbelievable.
I sacked off the directional stuff because
Really?
I realized that like I can just move myself towards the spray.
Dude, this is all about efficiency and convenience. I want them to move for me.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to do this configuration, like custom configuration for my bum. I just wanted to get in, get out.
Manny, can we talk about this? Too cowardly to even use the bidet.
Oh yeah.
Didn't use it once. I was too scared I'll enjoy it.
You didn't want a bit of spray up the anus?
No, I'm good. I'm good with my methods.
You didn't even want to try it once?
I should have. Looking back,
As if you didn't
it's a
do it.
regret.
The last day, surely.
But I should have, but I didn't.
Wait, why didn't you want to try it?
I was skeptic.
Fragile masculinity.
Fragile, dude. Exactly.
Dude, I enjoyed it. But yeah, the toilet paper, you have to end up using like 5, 6, 7 reams of that toilet paper to even
Yeah.
get the job done.
There's no Coolton there. Like they've really got to boost it up because it's, again, they don't tell you this, but just when you go to Japan, be aware that you will need to start really thickening. Like you'd have to use 10 times more toilet paper than you think.
Right, my first one today is when you're going to Japan, you're going to research on TikTok, on Google, everything, what to do and what not to do. And you're going to be inundated with Tokyo, you got to stand on the right. In Kyoto, you got to stand on the left. When you enter a building, you got to bow this way. When you do this, you got to do that. I'm here to tell you, you don't need to do all that, right? As long as you are a respectful person, they're not that bothered if you don't follow all these customs of when you eat, you got to, finish every grain of rice and
Correct.
like all these nitty gritty etiquettes. It's not that important. Obviously, it's nice to have, but you don't need to do it.
Just long story short, just don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, if you're
Essentially.
screaming all over the place, that's a
Yeah,
different story.
Don't be American.
Which we were doing at some points as well.
Yeah, I remember the first night we were at the ramen place. I'm like, I was pretty full, but I'm like, I got to finish it.
You got to
otherwise-
slurp it down
you
as
gotta
well to
slurp
show you enjoy it.
But then after that, like, yeah, no one really, they don't mind.
No,
if
they're
you don't-
chill. They're chill. I feel like the one thing I did have a little bit of a gripe was the fact that the left and right thing. I felt like Japan didn't really understand the concept of like everyone's on the same page. So sometimes some staircases, everyone's walking up to the right.
Yeah.
Some staircases in the same city, they're walking up in the left. And I'm sitting here like not understanding. Sometimes I'm people's way, sometimes I'm not in people's way. It was a whole affair.
Mine is full disclosure. Everyone knows this when you go there, but mine was there are really no bins. When they say there are no bins in Japan, there seriously is no public bins in Japan. Like I didn't understand. I couldn't fathom to
What
the
that
extent-
meant.
Yeah. Like there literally was no bins for honestly kilometers at a time. You're literally just holding your rubbish in your hands or in your bag for upwards of half an hour, 40 minutes. I was happy to see a 7-Eleven because I knew at least there was a bin in there.
Yeah, life hack. You just go to the 7-Elevens and you just dump it. You just
Yeah.
dump all your gear. But I remember like we were walking around. At the end of the day, in my pockets, I'm just pulling out wrappers and like, and they're not really good with the plastic stuff. They've got plastic on everything.
Yeah.
So after I do a trip to 7-Eleven and I finish eating my food, right, there's someone carrying usually a plastic bag. That's always obviously the bin bag. But then you're eating lollies and stuff like that and you just come out and you just got all this stuff in the hotel. Even in the hotel, the bin is so small,
Tiny.
man.
It's freaking tiny.
I don't understand why there's no bins.
Yeah.
How is it so clean and there's no bins?
I don't know how that works either, but because like,
You know the actual reason?
what?
Do you know the actual reason?
No.
So apparently there was like a terrorist attack that they bombed the bins or something. So now they don't have bins.
No, I'm sorry, but
Take it up with the Japanese government, bro. That's the fact.
that is not a good enough reason.
It's like
to
after
get rid of the
9/11 if you
bins.
just stop building towers or planes.
No, come on. What do you mean terrorist attack on a bin? So
Yeah, don't take it up with me, bro. Take it up with the government.
you're saying they had a bin and are you saying they just put a bomb in a bin?
Yes, essentially.
Right.
That's crazy.
And that's screwed. Oh my goodness, dude! I literally saw this on TikTok. Did you realize in Japan that there's like a really high pitched noise? Did you at all feel
My
that?
missus picked up on this on a day, one of the days.
Yeah. So I thought I was going mental because I would
Fair assumption.
I would just hear this ringing like high pitched noise, and I would just be looking up for where it was coming from. I found a TikTok today. I realized what that is, and it's to stop people loitering. So basically, if you're like under the age of like 30, you can hear that frequency.
Is this true?
This
Because
is
my
true.
missus said it and I said cap.
No, it
It's
is
true.
true. It is true.
Right.
Yeah, so they just stop people from loitering, and I was sitting here like, dude, I actually feel like it's like a ringing, like a flashbang's gone off in my head. It's like that, and it's to stop people from just hanging around,
okay. No, I don't even remember hearing that. Where was it?
like
Like everywhere?
around shopping centers. Like,
Yeah, I was on, was it Takashita Street? I was sitting down somewhere and then my missus was like, do you hear that ringing? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I hear that. He's like, oh, yes, to tell people to fuck off and not just sit around
Really?
forever.
Ah, there you go.
yeah, no good. But
yeah.
I can't get around this bins thing.
Yeah,
respectfully.
yeah. I
Like-
can't underestimate how little bins there are. The other thing was the receipts, man. Every time you buy something, they give you a receipt.
Yeah.
And then there's no bins to put the receipt. So you just, every day I open my bag, I had like 17 different receipts for like $1 for a bottle of water. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, no. And then the thing is, like, sometimes there's bins, right? But it's for like bottles only. And they've done it in such a way that you can't actually shove your rubbish in. I
Anything
tried
else in-
multiple
yeah.
times to like shove other rubbish in this bin. But it was like, I think how they did it is like you have to throw it up. And it's shaped like a bottle.
Yeah, that's right.
And you flick your bottle up and then it goes into the thing. Except you can't really do it with like just random receipts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nightmare situation all around. But I will say, Migs, on your point about the etiquette stuff, one thing that they religiously follow, I must admit, is you can't really walk and eat.
Yeah.
It's a weird rule. I mean, it's like disrespectful to walk and eat or
I
whatever.
mean, you can.
Yeah, I was gonna
course.
say
but I have physically did not see anyone do it.
correct. Yeah, I wouldn't say you can't do it. It's more that it's just frowned upon or
In like the Nishiki markets, we were walking around having a lovely cremier ice cream or like chicken leg or something like that.
Both at the same time, dare I
Yeah.
suggest.
And I was stopped with, and this lady just like stopped me with a sign, just shoved it in, no walking and eating. So I then had to plant myself in an area and it's like, you sit here and you eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, I didn't break the rules, bro, so that never happened to me.
No, because
I was respectful.
I remember we came into this trip and someone said, you can't walk and eat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I was like, okay, well, I was very like, oh, okay, I can't walk and eat. I did it, obviously. I was pretty hungry. But then, in certain areas, they like actually stop you and be like, nah, it's like unsafe. I don't know what the reason is I can't walk and eat. So explain.
Unhygienic, maybe. I don't know.
Was it drinking as well, or can you walk and drink? I couldn't remember.
I think you're not allowed to do walking and drinking either.
Okay, because I remember when we got a Cremia one day, they had like a special area off to the side where you can stand and eat, and then there was a bin there as well specifically for it to stop people just walking around creaming it up, you know?
But why are they stopping me walking and eating?
Because I think it's part of the bin thing. Because you eat, you have the rubbish, you're just probably going to yeet it somewhere.
Yeah, just quickly aside as well, something I just remembered. Places will only accept rubbish for their own
For
store.
their own stuff.
Which is
makes
fair,
sense.
which is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why you got to stay in the area.
That makes sense, yeah. But yeah, I don't know why they're against. I don't know, is it just rude? Like if I'm walking around eating and like you ask me something, I got food in my mouth and I'm talking to you.
It
I
might
don't
be
know.
something like
Maybe
that.
it's an unpleasant
I
look.
don't know. Maybe it's just, uncouthness.
That's
Yeah.
that was a culture shock for me.
Yeah.
Because dare I suggest, if I'm out and about, I will be walking and eating.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
exclusively only walk and eat in the city. Like I'd pick up a banh mi. What am I going to do with the takeaway banh mi?
Exactly.
I have to walk and eat. Or definitely walk and drink. You're telling me I can't have a coffee?
I swear drinking
I was
wasn't
cracking
allowed.
open
Yeah,
the black coffees on the road.
I'm pretty sure I was walking and drinking and no one said anything. I'm
No, but
sure
yeah.
it's no, yeah, because what if I remember I bought like a bubble tea one day. There's no way you can sit there and drink a bubble tea and then go. Like
It's not like they're going to call you out. Who's going to call you out? The public will not call you out.
someone called you out.
No, but I think she was like an official of that market.
Is that how do you get that job? Is that go up on LinkedIn?
Yeah. yeah.
Official food supervisor, food eater supervisor.
Maybe she's like a security guard, but that one of her roles as part of the security is, mate, these tourists
Yeah, she's
who walk and eat, get rid of them, make them stop.
All right, my next one's a little bit of a joke, but in Tokyo, you'll realize that in most places, people just wear black and white, right? So one day we got our goth look. We all went in like black t-shirts and shorts, and that's how we fit in. So that's my tip. If you want to fit in, you want to fit in with the local fashion and
Yeah,
everything.
look like a chessboard.
Exactly, black and white exclusive.
isn't that what like the I swear Harajuku was the area where we saw the most goth looking people.
Yeah, they were pretty. There was some sketchy looking dudes in Harajuku, I will say.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like the spiky jewelry scares me a little, like slightly scares me.
What, it gives you satanic vibes?
A little bit, because it's usually accompanied with like crazy hair, and they've just got spikes coming out everywhere.
They look like Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, they look like Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's monochrome.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a good tip. It is a good tip.
This is one thing no one ever tells you. Japan is not an early morning place. Shops don't open until 11 a.m. Obviously, they stay open late until 8, 9, 10, maybe even midnight. But if you want to try and get started early the next morning and try and hit off a few things, it's not possible at all. And it was actually quite inconvenient,
Yeah.
I must say.
Well, when you're used to like, I don't know, when you're on holidays, I feel like you want to really attack the day.
Yeah.
You want to wake up early, get a couple of things done before breakfast. But really, it's like a bit of a handbrake because you just like can't really do anything until lunch.
Correct.
And then you got to cram everything.
Yeah.
Because you also want to go, you want to have like a nightlife. So really from like 7 p.m. onwards is like your dinner, your drinks, your that. So you have between 11 and 6 to do literally all your shopping.
Yeah.
And the main thing is you would have planned your day before you go on the trip based on, your local timings. So we plan our trip assuming, things open at 9, maybe close, maybe a bit later, 6, whatever. So we're like, we'll go do these things in the morning and then we'll plan and book these things the afternoon. So we book those things. Lo and behold, we can't do anything in the morning. Got to wait till fucking 11. And then before you know, we're doing a million things within like 3 hours.
Yeah, you're just twiddling your thumbs till 11 a.m. And then you have to have, and then, yeah, I don't know. That was a bit of a shock as well to me because I actually thought the Japanese were, get
Up
started.
and get
little,
them,
little pep in your step at
Yeah,
7 a.m.
yeah.
Really attack it. But
I don't know where I got that from because that's incorrect.
yeah, massively incorrect.
I didn't mind it. I'm not a morning person, so I didn't mind it.
The only things that were open before like 8, 9 a.m. were your 7-Elevens and Lawson's.
Yeah,
Don
you
Quixote.
can get food off.
Yeah.
That's a 24/7
Don,
thing.
no.
Wait, do people know about Don Quixote? Am I the only one who didn't know Don Quixote coming into Japan?
I knew it big time.
I don't know it either.
Yeah, so I rock up to Japan and everyone's like, oh, let's go to this shop, Don Quixote. Oh, fantastic, let's go. And honestly, that place was one of the most overwhelming things I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm not even kidding when I say
What
that.
was it, Ro? Explain it to the
I think
people.
we chatted about this though last time.
Very, very high level. It's like a 7-story, maybe even more, department store that sells anything from groceries to like medicinal stuff to hair care to sex toys to
Louis
Vuitton
Vuitton.
bags. So really, it's anything you can imagine, you can buy there.
But then, but each level is exactly kind of like the same vibe, and the vibe is reject shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so whether you're shopping for groceries or Louis Vuitton,
Yeah.
it feels like you're in a reject shop.
Yeah, but it's
Correct.
got actual things in it. It's not like just offcuts.
Yeah. No, it's a legit store. It's like Maya's stuff.
And it's
but-
got like high end brands and stuff. But yeah, it was
They got their
egregious.
own jingle when you walk around. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It was egregious that they had sex toys right next to like the Pokemon toys.
yeah, if you're a
Come on.
small child wandering around for the Pokemon and then you see the biggest dildo you've ever seen in your life. I can imagine that's a lot of questions on the way home from mum and dad.
Dildo on.
But Don Quixote, one of the stores had a roller coaster in it.
No, not a roller coaster. Ferris wheel.
It was a
Osaka
ride.
one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
I think that was a Big Daddy 12-story one.
Yeah, that was a 12-story one.
with a Ferris wheel inside of it. So that gives you the scale. That's not my life hack or things you should know, but mine is like, I think when we went there to Mount Fuji, there was like a Lawson that's kind of like, you know, people take photos of Mount Fuji or whatever. And then I think they didn't like that people were loitering and littering and stuff like that. So they like closed it off. And so we went to Mount Fuji and we were just like wandering the streets of, I think what was the town? It was the town Mount Fuji?
No, it was Kawaguchi something.
Kawaguchiko.
Yeah,
I
Kawaguchi.
think.
Yeah.
I thought that's where we stayed, but we went into Mount Fuji. Anyways, whatever, it doesn't matter. But we were wandering around. I just thought this Lawson was like, I thought that was not the Lawson. I thought the Lawson was going to be in the middle of nowhere and it's like a nice view of Mount Fuji. No, it's in like the middle of this weird street.
Yeah.
And
The main street.
It's like the main strip, yeah.
the main strip of that city, of that town. And if you just move a little to the left, dare I suggest you get an even better photo.
You get a much better photo.
So how they close this Lawson is they just have on the other side of the road, they have like a black tarp
Yeah.
type situation to like stop you from taking a photo from the other side of the road. But if you don't, but they really haven't stopped anything.
No, they've stopped nothing.
Because we were taking photos like unaware that this was the famous Lawson.
Correct.
We were just like bang, bang, snap, snap. What a great photo. Like, I don't know where the real Lawson is, but it can't be this one.
Yes. Because I remember before we went, there was like, I saw so many TikToks and like articles about,
They're closing it down.
yeah, the famous,
They're building a fence.
yeah, the famous Lawson at Mount Fuji where everyone takes a photo. They've shut it off to tourists, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, where is it? And
Yeah.
then all you have to do is turn around. And like you said, it's just a big black tarp. But everyone just comes to the other side of the road and just still takes their photos.
Nah, but that's what they want. They don't care if you take photos on. They just don't want you fucking on the road all the time.
Is that what it is?
Because it's genuinely, again, it's just a road. It's not like a tourist area or
Correct.
like a close.
Yeah.
It's literally a normal
And
functioning
it's a
road.
high traffic road. There's like
Yeah.
a lot of buses and stuff that
So
go
what
on it.
people used to do is they used to stand where that black tarp is, and the people in the photo would be either across the street or on the road.
Oh.
So imagine that every time you're driving, there's fucking 20 people just on this road taking a photo.
Gotcha.
So now that you're
makes
across the
more
street,
sense.
who gives a shit? Go
Yeah,
take your photo.
okay.
Enjoy.
So I was gonna say it stopped nothing. There was a bunch of moes who were like standing on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like
There are people
literally on
climbing
their
like the electrical
Yeah,
poles
yeah.
to try and get the high up view.
Okay, that makes more sense.
No,
then.
but I actually thought it was just for the littering. Like people were loitering around that Lawson
No,
and
it's
it
the
was getting
traffic.
so dirty. They're like, get rid of these
No,
guys.
no, I think it was
the
just-
traffic.
Yeah, just a general nuisance.
So when I read the article and they said they're going to put a black fence or whatever to stop the Lawson, I thought they were putting it on top of the building
I also thought that as well.
to
yeah.
block the view.
But then that doesn't make sense from a business point of view because then people would stop going to the Lawson altogether, I feel.
Yeah.
True.
Also, how can you block a landmark like for no reason? Like how can you block a mountain?
Safety issue, mate.
That seems silly.
All right, my one, and I think this will be very helpful, is things in Japan, especially Tokyo, are much further away than you think. So when you go in Google Maps, if you do your planning, you're going to look, you're going to remember all these great places, Harajuku, Shinjuku, Shibuya, etc., etc. And even when you go into the city, you take a look at the map, because it's a lovely little, efficient little grid, and there's so much stuff, you think, oh, I can just walk here, walk there. Before you know it, you're walking 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time to go from place to place. I'm going to say it, the first few days of my trip, my feet were dead by like day 3, dude. I needed a rest, 1 or 2 rest days, because we just were walking all over the place. 20, 25K steps.
I think we had a plan where we'd like, would stick around this area and we'd hit the sites in that area. But I think that just went out the window because I just remember traversing Tokyo as if it was some sort of like fun adventure that you can just go from, coast to coast essentially. It was silly.
No, but even still, when we were just in like Harajuku, dude, that whole day I was there, walking galore just to go from this shop to this shop.
Do you know what I think it is? I think like this is another thing, right? There's so many people that you're walking at like a snail's pace. So I found that like I was walking, 20 to 30,000 steps. My feet were tired. That's fine. But I think that was amplified because I was just walking so slow
Yeah.
constantly.
You're
And so,
taking double the amount of steps.
double the amount of
'Cause
steps.
You're stuck in traffic.
It was just silly.
There was not that many like benches or seats or anything.
But I think it was that because there was so many people. Everyone was walking so slowly. You kind of had to go at the pace of everyone else.
Yeah, no, you can't.
And
Yeah.
Tokyo is not like Sydney, where all the major tourist landmarks are localized centrally, around the CBD and surrounding areas. It's like we were doing the equivalent of being in, Newtown and then going out to Strathfield and then Parramatta every single day, essentially. Like we were traveling pretty much across the city, walking around, catching a train, basically every single day without rhyme or reason.
Yeah, and then also Sen's point last time when we talked about this, the train system also takes 50 minutes as well. So,
Copped a lot of heat about that, by the way.
oh yeah, let's lift the lid on this. So we posted a TikTok, and I think I actually edited it, and I think it was Sen. It was a 45-second TikTok, and it was Sen for 43 of those seconds, and it was him talking about how the Sydney train system was better than Tokyo, which to be honest, fair enough, it's a hot take, but I don't see the lie in that.
No, it's egregious. It's egregious because
egregious.
because I saw a couple of the comments and they're right. It's because it's so complex that they've literally linked up every single place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
who
I'm
asked it to be complex?
Yeah,
No, but then you can go literally anywhere.
No,
You don't have to, because here in Sydney, half the time you're like, you can't get places by public
yeah,
transport.
but I'm not commenting on the engineering feat that they achieved. I'm not frothing that.
That's besides the point. That's meta, all right? We're talking about the actual point itself. A lot of places here, you have to take the train somewhere, and then you got to figure out, like, I got to Uber from the train station to this place.
Yeah.
Whereas there, it's like there's always a station nearby.
Again,
Yeah, it's going to take a little longer because you got to connect here and here and here. Fine, whatever. That's besides the point.
to be fair,
The price to pay.
Sen in the episode, right? OG fans, listeners of the podcast will know that he said, it's great that it's all connected. Obviously, I'm not going to put that in the clip.
Yeah, you've done us
Yeah,
dirty with a
and
few of your
plus the
clips.
commenters are not going to see this either. So
No, exactly.
Sen's
not.
just going to continue getting
Com-
heat.
But I didn't see the way you were telling the truth. You simply said that different railways are operated by different owners, and it makes things complicated because you can't really tap on with different things, and
That's just a fact.
yeah, and
Facts, not feelings.
well, yeah, this is the thing. TikTok commenters, mate, they have a preconceived notion. They have what? It's egregious. Japan's train system is supposed to be the best in the world.
They're brainwashed, dude.
Worst take ever. Tokyo trains actually run.
Oi,
These guys smoke lots of crack. Guys, please find the nearest circus and apply there.
that's pretty good. I'll give him that. That's a good
Awful
comment.
take. What the fuck? Get the fuck out. Tokyo's train system, much better. Why are you so precious? Just walk.
Yeah, that guy, that last one's outrageous.
Some of them are constructive. A lot of them are
Just
calling you a
abuse.
crackhead.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that circus comment's pretty.
That's really funny. All right, my next one is, when I went, everyone said, oh, how much cash are you taking? Make sure you're taking most of your money in cash. People don't take card, blah, blah, blah. That's a lie. Everyone takes card there.
Mm.
I was trying to get rid of my cash towards the end because otherwise I was taking home so much cash.
Caveated that we did go just to major cities.
Yeah, but I
And
feel like
you're not really a market sort of guy. Go out of the way. You just shop at main places, no?
that's true. But even stuff like your taxis, the train station.
Some taxis only took cash though.
Yeah, some of them
Sometimes,
did actually.
yeah.
Yeah, some of them
They
did.
snuck up on me like that. I'm like, fuck, I don't have cash, dude.
No, but I'm pretty sure if you push back, I'm sure they have the card. machine.
But their car looked old, bro. It didn't look like they had the facilities for such things.
When I was in the 7-Elevens tapping with my card, I found it actually really hard to figure out when I should remove my card. Did anyone else find this?
Yeah, it was.
Figure that
Towards
as
the end,
well.
I got it, but
So at the beginning, like when you're in Sydney, right, and you tap your card, there's a nice little
Beep.
sound
yeah.
that registers that your card has scanned. But when you're at like 7-Eleven or whatever and you tap your card there, there's not really a sound. Like this, I was holding it there for so long, and then eventually like some sound plays, and then I take it off. But turns out you can take it off well before that.
Yeah, okay.
You don't really need the cash. Yeah, I found the same thing. We didn't go, but if you go to Japan, you're not really where are you going? You're not going to like a middle of nowhere country.
I mean, you
town.
could if you've been a couple of times and you want
Yeah,
to
people's
explore.
second trip.
No,
They go for a drive and they go to places where they don't take. Some places don't take card potentially.
The
But
only
I
ones-
still agree. The way people were saying you need cash like it's fucking 1900s, it's not true.
The only ones where you needed cash was like the vending machines and stuff like that.
No, even then you could squeaker
the
it.
They took the
Suica,
Suics, mate.
Exactly. So yeah, everywhere you need to go, like your hotels, food, restaurants, 7-Elevens, shops, they will take cards. So take some cash, obviously, but don't really need that much.
Last helpful tip: you go in Japan, you're probably going to do shopping. You're probably going to get tax-free shopping. They're all going to tell you, don't open the bag.
Oh, yeah.
We will check the bag. I ripped open every single bag and I got 0 checked. So feel free. Don't worry about it. No one's checked. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, I don't know with this one. Dude, they made it sound like such a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially Don Quixote, they give you the big, and they seal it. The big.
Yeah, they put in a plastic bag and full
Duty-free.
seal it
Yeah.
with a seal you can't reseal.
Yeah.
And they're all like, do not use these goods in Japan.
What's the process meant to be? You're meant to take your goods to the airport and show them?
Because it's in theory, you don't pay taxes, you're not using it in Japan. So it's
Correct.
not a Japanese thing.
Yeah.
That's the theory.
Yeah.
So they're meant to police that, but they don't police it by any stretch.
But dude, you had like 18 like duty-free bags. Were you meant to carry them in your carry-on and show it at the airport? Like that's not. It's
No,
not
I don't think
practical.
you show it at the airport. I think it's like a parking inspector thing.
So
like,
it's essentially you just can't use it
Yeah.
while you're in Japan.
Because what they do is,
That's different.
yeah, exactly. So what they do is when you buy tax-free, they scan your passport, right?
Yes.
So it's linked to your visa,
Yeah.
essentially, or your whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So when you check in at the airport, I assume if you have 100 grand worth of tax-free items, they
Gotcha.
might tell you to open your bag and let's have a look, right?
Yeah.
But like if you're like us three, you have a couple hundred, couple thousand at most.
Yeah.
Chump change, bro, whatever.
Yeah.
So don't stress, use it. Be my guest.
well, we were worried, Sam. Remember when we were buying watches?
Yeah.
And I think when you bought your watch, we got like a little rundown of like what not to do and what to do
Yeah,
with that.
I was the only one. Your guy said nothing. You just like send you on your merry way. She
Yeah.
feel like when you get to the airport, you must show them this, you must show them receipt, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then we called one of your friends who also bought a watch recently, and he's like, "Nah, man, just slap it on your wrist and walk through the airport." Like, don't show him anything.
No, like I was actually really worried there because like we would go through whatever, bought the watch, and then she would be like, "You need to read this.
Yeah.
You need to read this paper." It's like you're a witness. You're witnessing some sort of thing, and it's like you have to sign that you've read it and you've acknowledged it,
Correct.
and you have to like declare it at the airport and stuff like that.
I was only worried because you didn't get the same speech. Because it's only me. I'm like, well, this seems targeted. But no, that is a good call from you, man.
Yeah.
Don't believe any of it.
Yeah, just use it. Doesn't matter. I got one final one, bit of a joke one. But Japan is a country not built for tall people. Manny, you want to tell them the story of how you got a first degree concussion?
Oh my god! We went to a tea ceremony, right? And then obviously the tea ceremony is in like a traditional Japanese room/building. We do the ceremony, and afterwards people are taking photos and all this and all that. All these guys leave. Me, Sen, and my missus, and then we're getting ushered. I think Ro was telling us, "Hurry up! We
Yeah.
got to get to the next place." Right?
And if you remember episode two episodes ago, we talked about the story, how we were running late to the tea ceremony. So that's why they were kind of pushing us along.
And we were respecting if there's a rush, we should rush.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, let's take these photos and rush. So I, stand up from whatever kneeling position or bowing position I was. I turn hastily towards the door and bang my forehead across some fucking wooden beam
Banister.
at the top, dude. That was a rude awakening.
Dude, it echoed through the building, dude.
Yeah.
I heard that 3 floors down.
And, that's me hitting my head. But everywhere in Japan, it was
Yeah.
like that in terms of barely fitting. And
Yeah.
Sen and I are only like 6'1". So
Yeah.
like,
Dude, when we were in the
6'1". We're just gonna let that slide.
yeah, I was happy to let it go. But when we were in like the Ryokan and stuff, like all those like sliding doors, I was bending down into it. When I was on the train, I felt like a giant. I could look across the whole.
yeah, literally on the train, dude. If Sen was on the other fucking side of the train, I could make eye contact with him. That's how like crazy it is.
Oh, I remember we went to Donburi in Osaka, and I kind of lost you guys for a bit, but I wasn't scared at all because all I had to do was look for Manny's head, and I knew where you guys were.
Same thing for you, brother.
I will say I really enjoyed being average height in a country.
Some might even say above average.
I think you were tall
potentially.
there, yeah.
which is fantastic because, when I was looking through a crowd, I wasn't seeing like shoulders. I was just seeing heads. It was delightful, I gotta say.
I will say clothes shopping as well was a nightmare. Trying to find clothes for myself, but also for my family members, because like I've got cousins and like people in my family who are taller than me and bigger than me.
Mm.
I had to buy like 4XL for them.
Yeah, I was buying XL.
I was XL. I was double XL. It was crazy. So yeah, if you're a big boy or a tall boy, you're gonna struggle a bit in Japan.